right on Ashford Street.
Welcome to Undercover Police, where high-speed chases and breathtaking pit stops push the limits. Get ready for daring action and intense tension. If you're looking for non-stop thrills and drama, this is the place for you. Let's get started. At approximately 12:14 p.m. on June 1, 2024, a patrol officer observed a silver 2018 Dodge Charger with Florida plates traveling southbound on I-75. The vehicle had an illegally tinted windshield. Police stopped the car near Pine Ridge Road. The driver, Carlos Alberto Castellanos, identified himself by his driver's license. However, the smell of marijuana coming from the car made the police suspicious. After calling for backup, police asked Mr. Castellanos to get out of the car, but he did not cooperate. During the argument, Mr. Castellanos drove away. Two police officers, including TPR Rodriguez, immediately gave chase, lights, and sirens on. They attempted a pit maneuver to stop the vehicle, but Mr. Castellanos crossed into westbound traffic and continued to flee. As he approached Logan Street, Mr. Castellanos turned right but was stopped by police with a successful pit maneuver. However, he still tried to flee, causing the chase to intensify. Police eventually stopped Mr. Castellanos' vehicle and found a plastic bag containing marijuana and other drug paraphernalia in a backpack. Mr. Castellanos was arrested and placed on probation. The incident was reported to the Department of Children and Family Services because it involved a minor. He was charged with violating the terms of his probation and fleeing from police. On April 25, 2024, on State Route 52, A patrol officer spotted a white Nissan Altima speeding past at an alarming rate, approaching 100 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone. Without hesitation, the officer activated his lights and siren, attempting to stop the vehicle. But the suspect refused to comply, disregarding the law, and drove straight through a red light, beginning a high-speed pursuit that escalated as the traffic continued. The Nissan accelerated, ran a red light, and continued driving at dangerous speeds, at times exceeding 115 miles per hour. The suspect made reckless U-turns, weaving through vehicles on both the median strip and the sidewalk.
One black male driver that went out eastbound. Alright, now we're going to U-turn westbound on Ridge. Westbound on Ridge. About 115 outside lane, down to 54.
The chase continued as another officer, Sergeant Howard, joined in to assist. Despite having his lights and siren on, the suspect failed to stop and even drove into the oncoming lane, causing serious danger to pedestrians. After the suspect's vehicle was blocked by a pit, he attempted to escape but was subdued by police on the spot after resisting force. A search of the vehicle revealed drugs, including cocaine and fentanyl. The suspect was identified and charged with multiple counts.
Hands right now! Get out of the car! Get down! Right now! Get out of the car! Right now!
On August 19, 2024, the police unit was deployed to assist the Tallahassee Police Department, TPD, in a high-speed pursuit. The incident involved a vehicle with Florida license plate KSIG03, which had been reported stolen during an armed robbery. The vehicle was traveling northbound on Capitol Circle Northwest from Pensacola Street at a high rate of speed through several major intersections.
There, courthouse traffic.
The pursuit continued north on Capitol Circle Northwest as the suspect vehicle turned onto Old Bainbridge Road. The vehicle's speed exceeded 100 miles per hour, forcing other vehicles on the road to take evasive action. At this point, backup units were requested to take the lead in the pursuit to gain control of the situation.
Copy my engine mileage for gets too busy. Go ahead, 375. 12320.
As the pursuit continued on Old Bainbridge Road, the unit attempted a pit stop as the suspect vehicle attempted to turn onto Concord Bainbridge Road. Although the initial attempt was unsuccessful due to oncoming traffic, the suspect vehicle then lost control when pushed, crashing into the shoulder of the road along with the patrol vehicle. Both vehicles were disabled. After the suspect vehicle was disabled, police arrested the driver, Devin Jerger, and the passenger, Delisa E. Morgan. A search of the vehicle resulted in the discovery of a firearm and seizure of it as evidence. The case was then turned over to the Tallahassee Police Department for further investigation. On the afternoon of January 22, 2024, Officer David Ramos was on patrol when he spotted a black Infiniti Q60 violating traffic laws. The vehicle turned into the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot and began to accelerate away. Ramos activated his lights and siren to stop the vehicle, but the vehicle continued to flee. The Infiniti sped out of the parking lot and drove at a high rate of speed on SR 44, ignoring stop signs and other vehicles. The driver's dangerous driving behavior posed a danger to others around him. The vehicle eventually lost control and crashed into the curb after running a stop sign.
Reverse 20. Reverse 20.
After the vehicle stopped, Officer Ramos confronted the driver, who continued to resist and refused to comply. When backup arrived, the driver, Keon Lamar Marsh, was eventually taken into custody. A search of the vehicle revealed drugs and weapons, including a modified gun. Marsh was taken into custody and refused to provide further testimony after being read his Miranda rights. On August 15, 2022 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, this pursuit was initiated by police officer Nick Mills after an unsuccessful attempt to stop the pickup truck for equipment violations and driving with false license plates. The driver was Alex Carpenter, 30, and he was accompanied by his girlfriend Mercedes Martinez, 26, and Ethan, 22.
TVI. We just have the stunts to roll over starting us.
That's Alex crawling out of the pickup truck after TVI Martinez and Ethan were both ejected. Ethan was pronounced dead at the scene, and Martinez died a few days later at a local hospital in May 2023. Alex Carpenter pleaded guilty to first-degree murder of Mercedes Martinez and Ethan Messis. He will serve a total of 20 years in prison for their deaths, followed by 2 years probation for the other charges. At 9:05 p.m. on October 4, 2024, Garland County Sergeant Simpson reported a white Nissan Frontier traveling at a high rate of speed on Airport Road, nearly hitting him, forcing him to initiate a pursuit. The car traveled rapidly through Albert Pike, Hobson, and Central Avenue at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour.
Go ahead, Formation to the state. Formation, right?
Police used a well-timed pity to stop the suspect vehicle. Suspect Brett Farr was arrested without incident and faces multiple traffic charges, including felony eluding. The pursuit damaged the police vehicle, and a tow truck was called to deal with the damage. On May 9, 2024, Melina Logan went to the Honda of South Miami dealership to test drive a new Honda Civic. After the salesman got out of the car, Logan quickly took advantage of the opportunity, started the car, and drove away with no intention of returning.
She's on the right shoulder now, very traffic. Approaching, get into 58th Street.
Florida police patrol officers spotted the Honda Civic traveling on State Route 826 and attempted to stop the vehicle, unsuccessfully. After the car came to a stop after hitting the edge of the container, Logan opened the passenger door and jumped over the barrier, plunging into a nearby canal. Police threw out a lifeline, but she refused to grab it. Police were forced to jump into the water to subdue her. After a brief struggle, Logan was arrested. She faces multiple charges, including theft, fleeing, resisting police, and leaving the scene of an accident, causing injury. Glendale, on the afternoon of August 5, 2021, near the corner of San Fernando Street and Western Avenue, a dramatic high-speed chase began when police attempted to stop a vehicle for a traffic violation. Things quickly escalated when officers received information that the occupants of the vehicle may be armed and dangerous. An intense chase culminated when the car crashed into a utility pole, lost control and flipped over near a gas station at the intersection of Glendale Road and Berkeley Road, creating a chaotic scene in the middle of the Echo Park area. So 5 suspects, despite escaping the overturned vehicle, were not able to escape the police. The driver and 1 passenger suffered minor injuries and were taken to hospital. 2 minor passengers were released to their families. So and 1 other person fled the scene. And remember, running away does not make you faster than law. It just delays your trip to the hospital or police station. Another thrilling chase ensued. Jorge Ornelas, the driver, sped off like a bullet through the streets of Greenfield, 112 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. Clearly, Ornelas was not only breaking traffic laws, but also treating the streets as his own playground. The situation continued to escalate as Ornelas rushed straight through intersections without paying any attention to the traffic lights. Red lights? Too small compared to his intention to escape. While the police were fiercely chasing after him, Ornelas showed his disregard for everything, just to try to prolong this race. Every twist, every turn, this journey of recklessness was reaching its final limit.
Heavy hold frame.
The moment of truth came. The police performed a pit on Loomis, and immediately Ornelas' car crashed straight into the median. In a chain reaction, the car bounced and hit the front of the police car, flipping over in a dramatic flip. Incredibly, Ornelas continued to flee the scene, making the situation worse. What he left behind was chaos and injured police. Who would have thought he would be so reckless?
Get in the air, going eastbound on Anderson from 15. The black BMW, tinted windows.
Ornelas was eventually arrested, and you guessed it. He admitted to being the driver in the wild chase. A long list of charges awaited him, from reckless endangerment to evading police. You can speed, you can be reckless, but you can never run forever.
They got the car taken off on me.
And here it is, suspect Victor Topet, the man who decided that ramming a police car and driving through 2 counties would be a fun way to avoid arrest. When Lafayette police spotted the stolen truck, Topet decided to speed down Highway 24 like a race car driver, 60 miles per hour, and the drama immediately erupted when he crashed straight into a police car. Bad strategy, but let's see what he did next.
Heavy white truck facing eastbound, right eye of the reservoir.
Still right shoulder.
Great! He jumped the guardrail and ran out onto the highway. Who would have thought? He was trying to run through the busy lanes, probably thinking he could skip the rush hour traffic. A reckless decision, but Topet clearly had no concept of traffic safety.
He's running across 24. We're in all green. Just got hit by a car. Need units on 24.
Look, he tried to crash into another car and break in like he was auditioning for a B-movie action movie. But the cops weren't lost. They were all over Highway 24. Topet kept running and then into the tunnel. It seemed like he had chosen a strategic escape route, or so he thought.
Where was the head-on with the Lafayette car?
The Lafayette car. He's forcing entry right now into a car.
Forcing entry into a...
Car's driving off with him hanging off the car. He's entering the tunnel. Left before the tunnel, or right before the tunnel.
Look, he tried to crash into another car and break in like he was auditioning for a B-movie action movie. But the police weren't lost. They were everywhere on Highway 24. Topet kept running and then into the tunnel. It seemed like he had chosen a strategic escape route, or so he thought.
Not working well. He actually taking a left on Keller Avenue. Actually taking a left on Keller. Left on Down Boulevard for Keller. Now passing Maynard and getting back on west on Canadian.
So I found 80 from Down Boulevard.
Okay, just keep for another trying to go the wrong way.
After running tirelessly through traffic, even taking off his clothes, Topete probably thought that his surprise disguise would help him escape. But no, the police were following him every step of the way, in the air and on the ground. The dog unit finally closed in, and his dramatic escape ended there. A predictable end for a man so reckless as to be insane.
Dog bite.
Copy, dog bite.
Dog contact.
And now Topete has a long list of charges to consider in prison. From assaulting a police officer to carjacking to fleeing and reckless driving, it's clear he's trying everything to get away from the police. But remember, you can run, but you can't hide forever. All you need to do is stop the car under the direction of the police, but one hard push on the gas and this Honda Civic rushes forward as if to challenge fate. One wrong decision, and now everything is on the verge of spinning out of control.
Oh, yeah, 33.
The Honda flew through the lanes like a straight bullet. There was no sign of slowing down, no hesitation. He passed other vehicles as if the street was his personal playground. And the police, they were hot on his heels, preparing for a life-or-death race with the law.
Compilation, that's location.
13 south, coming up on exit 85.
Probably 13 south, on the next 85.
Hit the wall, hit a white van.
Wait.
And here it is.
The car lost control, spun and crashed into the wall after the daring pit. From here, the direct confrontation between the police and the driver began.
Hit. 1050, 1052, 1018. Hands up! Get your fucking hands up!
The police immediately approached the scene, but the driver was stubborn and refused to cooperate. He moved around in the car, reaching under the seat. A dangerous situation. What was even more absurd was that he calmly drank from a can of soda and threw it out.
Back door.
Get your damn hands up, driver!
There, driver's falling out
Get
the
your
back door.
hands up! Hey! Get your fucking hands up! Get your hands up! Get your fucking hands up! Not you, him! Get your fucking hands up! Driver's
Driver's falling around the car, but I'm compliant.
got two more in the
Two more
car.
in the
Get your
car.
damn hands up! Get on the ground! Get on the fucking ground!
Clear.
While the passengers immediately raised their hands in surrender, the driver continued to resist. The atmosphere became more tense by the second. Backup forces rushed in, but the driver remained stubborn, leading to a tense struggle. He even threw the handcuffs into the sewer. And then, the final decision was made. The stun gun was activated. All resistance ended in an instant.
Yeah, what was the good thing? I would be
It all started out normal enough. An old Chevrolet Cavalier with expired license plates was driving down US Highway 67, following other cars too closely. The police stopped the car. But what do you think happened next? A happy ending? No way.
It's fine. I'll just get your name and date of birth, okay? You write your name and date of birth down there?
The police asked for papers. The driver confidently gave his name, Jerry Brexton. A name that sounded quite legitimate, right? But then the fingerprints were scanned, and within seconds the result was not Jerry Brexton, but Jerry W. Beard Jr., a man on parole. And the game had just begun.
Man, look at this. Let's go ahead and take it. Like hamburger on the couple.
You think that I popped up red for something?
Sir, step out of the vehicle.
No!
The police asked the driver to get out of the car, but instead of obeying, he stepped on the gas and drove straight ahead.
Oh, 1037, 1037.
We're headed out back towards 67 now. He's in a vehicle.
The Chevrolet was weaving between cars, endangering all the innocent people on the road. This driver wasn't just running away. He was putting everyone in a life-or-death situation. The police had no choice but to follow closely. The situation was getting more and more dangerous. This driver wasn't just running away. He was plowing into other cars like he had nothing to lose. Every dangerous turn could end in disaster. The police needed to act quickly. and then the spike strip is deployed forward. The Chevrolet ran over a spike strip. Its tire deflated and it began to slow down. Officer Gentry didn't miss his chance. He executed a perfect pit. The car spun, lost control, and hit the curb. This seemed to be the end of the chase. But don't think the driver would give up easily. After the pit, the police surrounded the car. The driver still tried to escape, but the game was up. He was pulled out of the car, handcuffed, and taken to jail. An inevitable end for a daredevil. But, running from the law is never a smart plan. The price? Another wrecked car, a bunch of additional charges, and a one-way ticket to jail. A costly lesson indeed.